Welcome back, all my free thinkers, to another evening edition of the Grow Rich, Grow Happy Crypto Show. I'm Mr. Foresight, of course. And guys, we're about to talk about XRP. Now, you don't have to be on this channel long to pick up a clue here and there that I'm a pretty optimistic person. I admit I'm overly optimistic. I believe in the glass being half full versus half empty. With that, I'm attracted to positivity, and I hope to impart some of that to you subscribers here, not just in crypto, just in your life in general. Trust me, it does wonders for your blood pressure, does wonders for your mentality. So what we're going to be talking about today, guys, I came across something that I wanted to flesh out with you guys and talk a little bit, and you can apply this to all of your crypto, but the one we are concentrating on right now is XRP. A popular OG, he said that XRP didn't come all this way just to go back down to 60 cents. Now, this particular OG, and his name is Alex Cobb, he believes that by year's end, XRP will be in the double digits. Well, we're almost halfway through the year. And to a lot of people out there, a lot of people just don't believe it. It is part of the reason that a lot of people don't hold XRP, no matter how many influencers or news stories or even Brad Garlinghouse himself comes out and talks about how great XRP is going to be and why it's going to explode. But I like the take that this guy has on it, and I'm going to discuss it with you guys. Part of the reason in this video, I hope to dismantle any of the negativity that you may have toward XRP, or just not a lot of belief. And again, this is just speculation, but it's more than that. It's more so into how people are. You know, on this channel, we talk about relationships and we talk about people. And I believe this is a great example of that. One of the points he makes is that XRP, this long consolidation phase that it's going through right now, why people keep saying, well, why isn't it moving? I'm seeing all of the things that's happening. I see this Security Exchange Commission case is over, but that damn price will not move toward $3 again. Remember it, but just in January, it did touch $3, and then it fell back down. Well, according to Mr. Cobb, he says that this is more so a sign of strength, what's going on right now, not weakness, that what's going on is being consolidated. I believe that as well. Again, if you don't believe it, just look at these backroom conversations. Guys, I sound like a broken record here, but look at these backroom conversations that keep going on with Brad Garlinghouse in the mix and Ripple. Guys, it's in the name. It's in everything. You know, we talk about the symbolism stuff, but it's a little bit more than that. He goes back to when Ripple hit its $3.40. That is the high for XRP. And then, you know, we've seen lows as far as low as 25 cents. 23 cents. I think I picked it up around there. Unfortunately, I did let it go, but I did pick back up on XRP before it hit 60 cents. I'm glad to say. But he's saying that a lot has changed since then. And I echo that. So much has changed since then. Crypto has come so far since then. Well, he's saying that it's going to go there. He gave some really good reasons for it. He says, for one, regulatory clarity and institutional green lights. And he has never lied on that, because if you look, he says another factor bolstering his optimism is the emerging trend of regulatory green light for crypto assets. And we know that started as soon as President Trump took office. Everything with crypto, you know, crypto used to be looked at bad. In the last administration, they painted it really just as a force for drug dealers and anybody with nefarious activities. Crypto would suit them, and it wasn't for the everyday person. Well, I got to give it to Trump and this whole new legislation that came in. They have done a crypto reform, and to me, they've made it a everyday occurrence now. You can't, I mean, I'm seeing crypto commercials. I'm seeing crypto everywhere on the internet. You're seeing companies, I mean, everywhere. Now they're accepting Bitcoin at different fast food restaurants. You're seeing crypto just become that it thing. And now I feel like they are painting things, especially with XRP. You don't believe me? Look what Trump said back in March when he came out and talked about XRP being a part of the reserve. Then he got his hand spanked. But if you notice, XRP was in Trump's mouth. And do I really need to throw this picture back up here that I swore I would stop doing about Trump's meeting with none other than Brad Garlinghouse? XRP has been poised to take the limelight. It never really lost its shine, even when it was backed into a corner by Gary Gensler and his goons. It never really lost its shine. And now, with it being on the lips of the president himself, inviting people like Brad Garlinghouse to high profile events, I mean, anybody with some eyesight can see that XRP is meant to be here for a very long time, if not forever. So I like where Mr. Cobb is coming from with all of this. And then now here's the other thing I want you guys to look at too. $10 trillion was wiped away from the stock market. And during that time, with all of these problems that was going on, not problems, negotiations, let's just call it that, with tariffs and just inflation, and just, it was a bad time, one of which that we're still in right now. But XRP slipped to what, $1.60, and then now it's made its way back up to, at the recording of this video, it's $2.45, and it's been hanging around that area between that 250 close to 260. But do you see where I'm going? It hasn't fallen back down to 60 cents or under $1 like so many influencers and some analysts out there saying, yeah, it's going to get butchered and it's going to fall down below $1, which has some people spooked, has some people saying that they're not going to even invest in XRP until it falls back down to 60 cents or underneath $1, because that's when they feel like, okay, now I can make up for lost time. But to me, that's like saying, going back in time and saying, you know what, that first marriage that I had that failed, I'm going to wipe that out. I'm just not going to marry that person. Or I'm going to go back and some of those bad decisions I made, unhealthy decisions, I'm not going to make them, because guess what? I know the future now. You can't do that. And I feel like those that were waiting for something like that to happen, or are waiting for something like that to happen, it's just not going to happen with XRP, because XRP, the difference is now they don't have the Security Exchange Commission hanging over their head. So these are the things now that are stabilizing it where it is right now. And I think only from here can it go up. Is it going to have some dips? Yes, I believe it's going to have some dips, but I truly believe it can go nowhere from here but up, like a staircase. Another thing he mentioned in this, which I want to break down too, he talked about Brad Garlinghouse and Ripple acquiring that company Hidden Road for $1.25 billion last month. He said this prime broker will migrate its post-trade transactions to the XRP ledger. Do you see what they're doing now? Also, I have to say this. He also cited hints that Ripple may be pursuing a new acquisition deal with Circle. Now, everybody knows that, because guess what? They came out and they let it slip. I feel like it was purposely done. Let's just face it. A lot of the stuff what we found out, that we're finding out about some of these big crypto deals, we don't find out until after the fact, once it's inked or once it's right there. Why did that Circle deal that, or offer that Ripple put in to acquire Circle, why was that slipped? Why was that let out? Trust me, I feel like it was done for a reason. What reason, we may not know, but it was done for a reason. But let's just say something like that does happen, and Ripple was to acquire something like Circle or even something like Tether. Where would that place XRP? I think it puts us holders of XRP. And regardless how you feel about XRP, I just feel like, and this is not financial advice, it's just my own opinion from the things that I watch, that you can't go wrong with an asset like this. You got to think. There are, for as many XRP army people that are out there, you know, holding up the flag for XRP and saying XRP to the moon, XRP is going to dominate. You got to admit, it's probably equal as many people out there that hate it and that are going to FUD this project, because they're always going to feel like they know more than the people with the suits on. I just think you just got to, you can't trust everything that you see, but some of the things that you see, remember in my message of the day, I said sometimes people are not going to believe what they see or what you see, even when they see it. What that basically means is we both can see two different things. We both can read, me and my subscribers here, the free thinkers, we can read the same message, or we can read the same news article, and we both come away with two different interpretations. The difference between my interpretation is going to be, I'm going to go a little bit deeper than the black and white on the page or on the screen. I'm going to zoom out and look at it from a people, a relationship type of thing. And I believe that at the end of this, Ripple, XRP, and I also believe that they're going to do business with so many people out there, some of which we've talked about, but they're here for a reason, and they're held up in front of the world and the masses for a reason. Guys, I don't know. I have to ask people this. When you see things happening and they're happening, why do so many people doubt their own eyes? Why? But you're quick to believe a lie that you didn't even see. We are seeing the transformation in crypto, and this really goes out to the people who still don't believe in crypto, and they still believe that this dollar is just going to be here, although we watch it burn right before our eyes. And I'm not to say it's going to go away forever, although it might one day. But with so much talk about crypto, how can you doubt it? And with so much talk about XRP, and, you know, regardless on how it's going to be used, although we pretty much know how it's going to be used, isn't it time to stop doubting it? I don't know. You let me know down in the comments, guys. What do you think? Do you think, like Mr. Alex Cobb said, by the end of this year, you think we could be in double digits? Or do you think we'll still be here where we at right now in purgatory? $2.45, $2.50. What do you think? Let me know down below, guys. Till next one, this your boy. I'm out.